Steve Jobs is often considered one of the most influential and innovative people in the consumer electronics industry. He revolutionized computing and led to the creation of Apple, one of the world's largest electronics companies. His return in 1997 led to a change in Apple's vision and its success in Silicon Valley. Jobs impacted Apple's future and inspired others to innovate and improve, and his return to Apple marked a turning point in not just Apple's success, but throughout the entire industry. Jobs was born in February 1955 to two university students who gave him up for adoption. Shortly after, he was adopted by Clara, an accountant, and Paul Jobs, a Coast Guard Marine. He grew up in Mountain Valley, California, in an area that would later be known as Silicon Valley. A curious child, Jobs landed in the emergency room twice for burns and poisoning. His father instilled a sense of curiosity in him, and they would often take apart electronics together. He picked up a job at Hewlett-Packard one summer after calling company co-founder Bill Hewlett to ask for parts. It was at HP that Jobs would meet his future partner and co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak. In 1974, he took a position as a video game designer at the then small company called Atari, but later left the company to experiment with psychedelics in India. Soon after, Jobs and Wozniak would found Apple in the Jobs family garage. With no initial investors, Jobs sold his Volkswagen bus and Wozniak his beloved calculator to pay for the venture. Apple initially marketed its first computer, the Apple I, for $666 apiece, profiting around $774,000. Their second computer, the Apple II, led to exponential growth and the company's valuation of over $100 million. After disappointing sales and slowed growth, then CEO John Sculley believed Jobs was responsible for the decline and effectively pushed him out of the company in 1985. Jobs sold all but one share of his stock in Apple and went on to pursue other ventures like Pixar and Next Computers. After Jobs' departure, Apple continued its pattern of declining growth and stagnation. It underwent three major CEO changes and major reconstruction from 1985 to 97. In 1996, Gil Amelio was hired as CEO by the board. Under his leadership, Apple purchased Jobs' computing venture Next, Inc. for $400 million, bringing Jobs into the company as an advisor. After Apple stock hit a multi-year low, Jobs managed to stage a boardroom coup and replaced Amelio as CEO in 97. He would quickly shift the focus and direction of the company, canceling 70% of its product line and taking a $150 million investment from Microsoft, marking a major turning point in Apple's success. In 1998, Steve Jobs introduced the iMac, a colorful all-in-one desktop computer targeted at non-tech savvy customers. Priced at $1,200, it sold over 500,000 units in a quarter, leading to Apple's stake at a 5% share of the global PC market. Jobs would continue to launch groundbreaking products throughout the rest of his career. He would focus his attention on quality over quantity, prioritizing ease of use and user experience more than anything else. In 2001, Apple announced the iPod, a 5GB MP3 player for $400 that was light and pocketable. In their first promotional video, DJ Moby praised its simplicity and compared it to the mess of other competitors at the time. With the iPod, he said, quote, "I held it, and 45 seconds later, I knew how to use it." The company would continue to see major success, releasing revolutionary products like the MacBook, Apple TV, and eventually the iPhone, which Steve Jobs said encompassed, quote, "an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator." It would see them rise to the top spot in global smartphone market share in 2023, beating Samsung by 0.7%. Steve Jobs inspired generations to come and forced other companies to improve and adapt in order to keep up. Following nearly every announcement, product, or design change came a flood of competitors, looking to profit from his work. His strategy of streamlining and focusing on quality over quantity allowed Apple to stand out from the competition and make a name for itself in almost every industry. Steve Jobs' return to Apple marked a major turning point that had immeasurable short and long-term effects on not only the company, but the entire industry and the future of innovation. His return to the company after a period of financial instability effectively revived Apple and saved it from bankruptcy. He catalyzed the progress of technology and the computing industry through his business strategy and design philosophy. As CEO, Jobs released innumerable groundbreaking products and sparked creativity in others for generations to come.